The reason I thought we ought to talk this morning is because in our conversations, I have the impression that you don't know everything I know, and it makes it very difficult for you to make judgments that only you can make on some of these things. And I thought that
in other words, I've got to know why you feel something.
Well, let me
should unravel something.
Let me give you my overall first.
Your judgment as to where it stands and where we would go.
I think that there's no doubt about the seriousness of the problem we've got. We have a cancer close to the presidency that's growing. It's growing daily. It's compounding. It grows geometrically now because it compounds itself. That'll be clear as I explain, some of the details of why it is. And it basically is because, one, we're being blackmailed. Two, people are going to start perjuring themselves very quickly that have not had to perjure themselves to protect other people and the like. And that is and there's no assurance that won't bust. So let me give you the sort of basic facts, talking first about the Watergate, and then about Segretti, and about some of the peripheral items that have come up. All right, now, post-June 17th, these guys immediately, it was very, very interesting. Liddy, for example, the Friday before, I guess it was on the 15th, 16th of June, had been in Henry Peterson's office with another member of my staff on campaign compliance problems. Joking. After the incident, he ran Kleiny's down at Burning Tree Country Club and told him that you've got to get my men out of jail. Which was kind of Kleiny said, you get the hell out of here, kid. Whatever you got to say, just say to somebody else. Don't bother me. But this has never come up. Liddy said that, they all got counsel instantly and said that, we'll ride this thing out. All right, then they started making demands. Hey, we got to have attorney's fees. We don't have any money ourselves, and you're asking us to take this through the election. All right, so arrangements were made through Mitchell, initiating it in discussions, but I was present, that these guys had to be taken care of. Their attorney fees had to be done. Kalmbach was brought in. Kalmbach raised some cash. They were,
They put that under the cover of the Cuban committee.
They had a Cuban committee, and some of it was given to Hunt's lawyer, who in turn passed it out. When Hunt's wife was flying to Chicago with $10,000, she was actually, I understand, after the fact now, was going to pass that money to one of the Cubans to meet him in Chicago and pass it to somebody there. That's the most troublesome post thing, because one, Bob is involved in that, John is involved in that, I'm involved in that, Mitchell is involved in that, and that's an obstruction of justice.
In other words, the fact that you're taking care of witnesses.
That's right.
How was Bob?
Well, they ran out of money over there. Bob had $350,000 in a safe over here. It was really set aside for polling purposes. And there was no other source of money, so they came over here and said, you all got to give us some money.
Okay.
I had to go to Bob and say, Bob, you got to have I need some money over there. He said, what for? And so I had to tell him what it was for, because he wasn't about to just send money over there willy-nilly. And John was involved in those discussions, and we decided, that there was no price too high to pay to let this thing blow up in front of the election.
I think you should handle that pretty well.
Oh, I think we can. That's right. I think we can too. But now, here's what's happening right now. What sort of brings matters to this is going to be a continual blackmail operation by Hunt and Liddy and the Cubans, no doubt about it. And McCord, who is another one involved. McCord has asked for nothing. McCord did ask to meet with somebody, and it was Jack Caulfield, who is his old friend, who'd gotten him hired over there. And when Caulfield had him hired, legitimate security man. And he wanted to know, well, you know, I want to talk about commutation and things like that. And as you know, Colson has talked indirectly to Hunt about commutation. All these things are bad in that they're problems, they're promises, they're commitments. They're the very sort of thing that the Senate's going to be looking most for. I don't think they can find it, frankly.
Pretty hard.
Pretty hard, damn hard. It's all cash.
Well, I mean, pretty hard as far as
That's right. Now, the blackmail is continuing. Hunt called one of the lawyers from the re-election committee on last Friday to meet with him over the weekend. The guy came in to me, see me, because he had a message directly from Hunt to me for the first time. Pardon?
on bail.
Hunt is on bail. Correct. Hunt now is demanding another $72,000 for his own personal expenses, another $50,000 to pay his attorney's fees, $120-some-thousand. Wanted it by the close of business yesterday, because he says, I'm going to be sentenced on Friday, and I've got to be able to get my financial affairs in order. I told this fellow O'Brien, I said, you came to the wrong man, fellow. I'm not involved in the money. Don't know a thing about it, can't help you. He said, you better scramble around elsewhere. Now, O'Brien is a ball player. He's carried tremendous water for us.